y'all, welcome back to my channel. So this has been last week has been a rough week, and this weekend has been a rough weekend, hence the hat. So it's Monday, and if you follow my channel, you know that Sunday is hair day. I always do my hair, my children's hair on Sunday, and I do a protective style, you know, it's wash day, whatever. But yeah, it wasn't happening yesterday. No. So in this video, I'm just going to show you how I'm going to re-moisturize my hair for the week. And I'm going to do a simple twist out, but I'm just going to let it dry, and then I'm going to probably just put it back in a curly tail and then just leave it like that for the rest of the week until Sunday. But I'm going to tell you my tail as I get started. Okay, so my hair is like so dry. It really needs to be cleaned, and it's just been through a lot. It's been through a lot. So what I'm going to use is my Cantu Avocado Hydrating Repair Leave-In Conditioner and my African Shea Mix and water bottle. So because my hair is not clean and it still has like product buildup in there, I don't want to use too much products in there to make my scalp itchy or to make my hair flaky or too hard. I just wanted to give it a little bit extra moisture to last for this week. That's all. Okay, so let's see, where should I begin? So my son, who's 5, he has been, well, he was sick with like a severe cold that's been going around, so he's been home for most of the week last week. And not to mention, work has been extremely busy. Like, work is still busy, has its high and lows, but it's been very, very busy with work last week. Hold on, I need a hair tie. Okay, so I'm at home with my son. He's coughing like crazy, has a fever. He's like, you know, the typical symptoms. It's like, it's not a flu, but it has some flu symptoms because it's like a severe cold. But anyway, so we was dealing with that. Then all of a sudden, he started throwing up a lot. He started having diarrhea, and it was just crazy. So we took him to the doctor. They gave him some medicine. It wasn't working. And then we took him to the same doctor again a week later, which was last Monday. And like, mind you, he's throwing up like everything. He can't keep anything down. So we're thinking like, okay, now it might be a stomach bug. So we take him to his doctor, and it's like, oh, we can't see him. And I'm like, okay. He was like, yeah, you didn't make an appointment and we don't have any availabilities. So I'm like, okay. It's unfortunate. I understand they were busy, but it's his pediatrician. So, okay. I'm not going to get into that. I understand. I just didn't like it at the time because my son was throwing up like all the time, and he had really bad diarrhea, and I just wanted to stop. So we took him to urgent care, and I told him that the medicines that his pediatrician gave him was not working. So he was like, yeah, it's just like a severe cold going on, and he will pass it soon. It's just, you know, he's small, and when he coughs like that, it's going to cause him to throw up. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And so we went home, and he still had diarrhea. I'm like, this is definitely a stomach bug because he keeps throwing up and he has diarrhea. So eventually the coughs calmed down. Eventually he stopped throwing up, but then he was still having diarrhea. Then, when was this? Friday, our daughter, she started throwing up, and then she started having diarrhea. I was like, oh gosh. And then she was, oh, and he was having fevers too. And then she was, her head was hurting, so it was a lot with that. Like, my husband and I was like up all night cleaning up after them. It was everywhere. And then Saturday, I woke up because usually every Saturday I try to have like an activity for all of us to go to or all of us to do on a Saturday, especially if we go somewhere like to the museum or something like that. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to go anywhere Saturday. I just want to stay home and just chill and do nothing. I even had like a list of games I wanted to play with the children, like creative games at home, and including like arts and crafts. We was going to do like a science experiment, you know, just stay home and just have fun. But then I had to go to the store for I had to look for our Sunday dinner because I didn't know what I was going to make for Sunday dinner. And then I had to pick up some other stuff. So I'm like, all right, I don't want to go, but I'm just going to go ahead and go. And when I woke up that morning, I felt a little off. And I'm like, I know it's not my menstrual coming because I was already, it's a Saturday. I was already 5 days late. But it's typical because my menstrual is irregular, so I'm used to being late that late. So I'm like, I know it's not my menstrual, but it's something. It was like a tiny bit of body pain. And I'm like, I know it's not COVID because I've had COVID twice, and I know what that would feel like. So then I was like, all right, I'm just going to ignore it and just keep going. So I came back, and I was just like zombie mode. And I was like, man, this is getting really intense. Like I was having like major body pains all over, especially on my back, all in my chest. My arms and my legs were extremely fatigued, and I had a headache. And so I was laying on the couch with my daughter, and I was like, oh man, everything hurts. It's like if you've had a baby and you go through contractions, and then when it's time to have contractions, they're like intense pains. I mean, the pains wasn't like that. It was nowhere near labor pains. I'm just giving you an example of the frequency of it. So when you go through labor pains, you have the pains when it's contracting, and then it's like contracting. But then when it stops, you get a moment to breathe and you can relax. So that's exactly how it was. Like it would have those little spasms. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And then so, my husband was like, oh, what was going on? And like, he was taking care of me. He was concerned. And I was telling him what was happening. I'm like, I don't know what this is. So time started going on. And then my daughter started throwing up again. And then I started getting nauseous, like really nauseous. And one thing about me, I cannot stand to throw up. That's my least favorite thing to do is to vomit. I cannot stand it. I hate the feeling. I hate the pain of it. It's uncomfortable. It's smelly. I can't stand it. If I can avoid it, by all chance, I will. When I was pregnant with Madison, I avoided it only one time with Madison and Noah, our children. So I only threw up one time. Even though I had to throw up like a lot during the first trimester, which is typical, but I refused. And I kept feeling it, and I was like, okay, I feel really, really, really nauseous, but I'm not going to do it. Then I went to the bathroom and I was having diarrhea. I'm like, what? I have the same symptoms as my children. I was like, what is this? And then it got so bad that I was like extremely nauseous, very fatigued, and having diarrhea like left and right. And then like late at night, I went to the bathroom, to use the bathroom, and my body just was not listening to my mind anymore. It was like, nope, this is going to happen. So I threw up everywhere, like my body was angry at something, like it was mad. It was like an exorcist thing. It was everywhere. It was so much. I was so miserable. I hated it so much. Oh my gosh, it was so horrible. It was horrible. It was the worst. And did I feel better after I did it? No, I did not. Because, typically you do feel better after you throw up. But I was like, no, this is the worst. I hate this. So when I was feeling so nauseous that I was dizzy, and it was bad. And so finally my husband sat me in front of the window, and when I got in front of the window, like the cool breeze was amazing. It's like instantly took away my nausea, and it was so much better. So we all slept in the living room that night. Like, I was sleeping in our chair by the window, the children were on the couch, and my husband was next to him in like a couch. So two chairs you put together to make a little boat, and we would take turns, or we both wake up at the same time. Every time our daughter would wake up throwing up and have to go to the bathroom, or either, and my husband had it too. Like, he had it, the diarrhea and stuff, but he didn't vomit. So because of that, Sunday, I usually like to wake up, say hi to my children, see what they're doing, what they're up to. And then I usually go for like a run, or I go for a bike ride. So yesterday I was going to go for a bike ride, but I didn't go because I'm like, you know what? I need to let my body heal. I have to stay in. And mind you, Saturday, when I wasn't feeling well, I couldn't eat anything. It's just like my son and my daughter, wherever they eat, they throw it right back up. Even if it's water, it comes right back out. So I didn't eat any. Only thing I ate Saturday was like one piece of cracker, and that's it. I couldn't eat. Was that Saturday? Yeah. Was that Saturday? No, that was Sunday. Saturday, I ate a little bit, but I couldn't finish my food and not eat anything else. And then Sunday, I ate one piece of cracker and I didn't eat anything else. Like, I tried to drink water, but that made me nauseous, so I didn't even drink that much water. So my stomach was like completely empty. So the only thing about that is that I wasn't going to throw up because there was nothing in my stomach. But I couldn't eat anything because I was throwing up. But it was a catch-22. So Sunday I stayed in. I was feeling better. I was still a little nauseous, but then I started chewing gum, and that made me feel better too. And I was like, you know what? I can't do my hair today. This is not going to be a hair day today. And I was going to do my children's hair, and I was like, I asked them if they wanted me to. If they would have said yes, then I would have done it. But nope, it's not a day to do hair day. So that's my long story of my extremely long weekend with the stomach bug. We took our children to the doctor today. This would be my son's third time, my daughter's first. So then they say that she has a fever today. So she has two viruses, like my son had two viruses. Because at first he had the severe cold, and then he had a stomach bug. But he got over the cold, and he's slowly getting out of the stomach bug. All that's left is just diarrhea and stomach pains. My daughter, she's kind of like in the middle of the stomach bug, and now her daughter's like, she's getting the second virus because she had a fever. So I was like, oh goodness gracious. So it's like reverse. I think she's getting the severe cold now, well, my son got it at first. So they're going to be at home she's going to be at home with me for a while. And my son can go back tomorrow because he's been out for like a week. It was really bad. But yeah, that's my story. And I just wore a hat today because I was in a rush trying to get to the doctor as soon as possible. And then when we get to the doctor, come on guys, doctors, you guys got to do better. Like, trust me, I understand. I completely understand. If you don't have an appointment, they don't want you to do walk-ins. But you're my children's pediatrician. So everything has to come through you. Even if we go to the emergency room, we still have to come to see you to tell you what happened. And then you have to do a checkup. So we get to the doctor's office like before they open. And then she's like, do you have an appointment? And she knows we don't have an appointment. You know this. You know us. And I was like, no. And she was like, okay, well, we can't see you. We have to schedule a time for today. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, and she was like, well, you should have called. I was like, well, I can't call if the office is closed? And she was like, well, we have voicemail. I'm like, so I didn't want to argue because my daughter was in pain and my son needed to be seen. So I was like, okay, well, what time can you see us today? Now, we got there at a little bit before 9. They opened at 9, but they didn't open the doors until like exactly at 9. So we got there, and my husband was like, well, if somebody... Now, mind you, it was only one other child there. The office was empty. There was like, we have appointments all morning, so we can't just see them. We have to schedule a time. And there was nobody there but one kid. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue. So my husband was like, okay, well, can we just wait in case somebody cancels? She was like, yeah, you can wait, but we can't guarantee that we will see you before that time. I was like, fine, we'll just wait. So we waited there, and nobody else came. Like, some people came in and out, but not to be seen. And I'm like, come on, man, y'all can't do that. And then they finally called us back there, probably like 20 minutes later. I was like, that's not right. Y'all can't do that. Especially when it's like, when other people's children, and you was like, oh, the policy. No. This is their doctor. They're sick. How can I schedule an appointment if I really need to come in like right now and my child is throwing up everywhere all night? No. Let's go. Let's see the doctor and see what's going on. That's all I'm saying. But I get it. I get their policy. I understand it. I just don't agree with it. That's all. Okay. Now I am finished. Oh, they're at home now, so well, obviously, just have to give them their probiotics and medicines, which I'm about to do now after this video in a few seconds. Alright, so I'm going to let my hair dry, and then I'm going to come back to you with a twist out, but it's going to be like a quick protective style. I just want my hair up and out of the way, but I don't want it to be too dry. Oh, I should have shown you how much I was using. I wasn't using that much of either one of them at all because, like, as I said, I don't want it to be like too much of a product buildup. Okay. So that will work. I will see you in a minute. Okay, so my hair is completely dry and I'm ready to take it down. So, a little update with the whole stomach bug thing. So, as I said earlier, I haven't really eaten in like almost 2 days. Well, a day and a half, let's just say that. And I was feeling fine. I had so much energy. I was exercising. I was just doing everything around. I was feeling fine. I had no issues with my stomach or anything. And today, I'm still not hungry. But then I'm like, I can't go another day without eating. I need to put something on my stomach to help feed off whatever this bug, if I still have it. So I had my usual tilapia fish salad. Well, it wasn't salad, like a Buddha bowl with like all my kale and spinach and my greens and my vegetables. And then I had my avocado and I had an orange for dessert, which I have every day. I always eat that every day for like brunch. And then like 10 minutes after I had it, there we go with my stomach cramps. My stomach started to mess up again. I was like, oh my gosh. And now it feels like there's a rock in my stomach. And then there's that pressure, like I told you earlier, like the contraction, like when women are pregnant and are in labor. So now I'm dealing with that again. So I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. My stomach was bubbling, so I'm pretty sure the diarrhea is probably going to come back. And hopefully I don't have a full night of like diarrhea, and hopefully I'm not going to vomit. I refuse. Like I said, I refuse this weekend. I'm not going to do it. I am not going to do it. I hate it. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell my body, You're not welcome to do this. You do not have my permission to vomit all over the place, so I'm not doing it. Okay, so this is my Tryst out, and so that it looks better though. It looks a little bit more refreshed. Like it's definitely softer and it's not as dry. Well, it's not dry at all actually. So I'm just gonna put it up in a curly tail. Today has been a long day. I just got off of work and I have to set up all these schedules on when my children take their medications and things. I think I'm gonna have it like this. And then now I'm not going to take anything for it. I'm just going to tough it through. Because I feel like I'm heading towards the end of the stomach bug, whatever it is. And I was doing the one thing that you should never do when you're sick, but as a human being in a technology world that acknowledges and uses technology, I Googled. So what I saw was an outbreak that's going around called the norovirus. So it has like the same symptoms that we all have, and that is highly contagious. So I said, that sounds about right. And even my children's pediatrician said that for the past month, she's been getting a lot of patients that's been coming in for the same symptoms. So I was like, yeah, that about checks out. So I'm just going to put that and curve it up like that. I'll just leave a little bit out because I don't want to have to deal with that. I will put this down later. My forehead is so shiny. I'm just going to put this behind my ears. Well, that just feels so much better. And when I moisturize my hair, I try not to put too much on my scalp because my scalp is already well moisturized. So I'm not going to worry about flakes or itchy scalp because I don't get flakes or itchy scalps. And also, somebody's calling me. I don't know who this is. I don't answer phone numbers I don't recognize. So if they call me and I don't recognize the phone number, I'm not answering it. I'm not telling who that could be. Anyway, so I'm finished and I'm just going to put this on because, gotta have my ears. I'm going to go all fox today. And this is my style for the week until Sunday. So thank you guys so much for watching my video and listening to me rant about a crazy week and crazy weekend I had and all the sickness that I did not filter because that's just who I am. Please continue to watch. I upload a video every Tuesday. Click and like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and click your notification button. Until next time, bye, and stay well. This is out there, it's serious and it's coming for everybody, so be careful.